if you have extravagant interests or needs, then those are much harder to meet when you don't have anything or don't have very much. Hey, I just wanted to check in. See that you're doing fine, or if you're not, then it's good that I'm here. Maybe. I don't know anything about you, and I don't need to know. But you should know that I'm here, and I'll always be here, at least until I die, or until YouTube goes under, or, who knows. That's a lot of small print, but you can see that on your screen, so I'm covered legally. The point is, I'm here now, and I really hope you're doing okay. If you're not, then I can't tell you that it's gonna get better, but hopefully it doesn't get much worse. It could get worse, and that would suck, but I'd still be here, and that's a plus, hopefully, right? You always have the freedom not to watch me. So, whatever's going on, here I am. So what can I do? Well, I can talk to you and talk about how I would cope with shit being shitty. And, well, for one, you could get yourself a plush toy if you don't already have one. I personally have one. It's an awesome, well, it's hard to say. Some think it's an owl, and some think it's a baby penguin. It's this thing here. And you can probably see loads of hairs on it. Having long hair is annoying. I also use it as a pillow, so, yeah, probably needs a bit of a clean. But they are really good to hug, and so I would recommend one. This one in particular also has holes. So you can use it to sleep on a desk or something. You can put your hands inside and sleep and relax, and that's always good. I bought it because I was traveling and I saw it at one of the service stations, and I figured, hey, that would help with sleep in the car. I wasn't driving, obviously, otherwise that would be dangerous. Do not fall asleep while driving. And do not listen to this, by the way, if you're driving. I don't want you to fall asleep. The point is, it was good for traveling, because cars can always be awkward to sleep in. So So this little guy, he is pretty cool. He's been with me through a lot. He's been with me when I was homeless and living in a tent. He's been with me when I wasn't. He's been with me around Europe. He's always been there, you know? It's pretty cool. It's always nice to have something that you can hold near and dear. He also is able to wear hats. Look at that. Hair everywhere. Pretty stylish, yeah? But it's not the only thing. Personally, I am a pretty, I'll say non-social. Antisocial isn't true, but I don't talk to people a lot. And what I do is, it's almost exclusively online. I don't get a lot of human interaction in my life. And that's mostly by choice. I don't seem to be able to figure that shit out. And when I can figure it out, it's not always what it's cracked up to be. But even so, it becomes a little lonely. And so, what's great is that you have video games. Now, I'm not talking about your multiplayer online battle arena games. I am talking about stuff like adventure games or old school RPGs, American RPGs, not the Japanese kind, like the original Fallout games or Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, well, there's other ones. And there's ones I haven't played, like Baldur's Gate or Arcanum. I've only played a little bit of. The point is, there's a lot of cool story-based games where you can kind of take yourself out of this world and into another. And that helps. Now, some people, I suppose, would become dependent. I'm not personally that kind of person. I'm not completely dependent on games. I tend to just make time for them. Even if I have other shit to do and my life's great, I'll still make loads of time for games. That's just who I am. But even if you're not typically a traditional gamer, I would recommend some of those more story-heavy games. Some of them have so much text, and although that may not appeal to some of you, or even most of you, take it from a person who doesn't read. They make you want to read it. It is so compelling, and the characters are so interesting, and the world just feels alive. The production quality on these games is incredible, and they're really tight in terms of just design in general. So I'd recommend them. And that can help you get through some hard times. Even if you can't afford them, I don't think those people would really mind if you pirated them. You should buy them if you can, though. They take time to make, and money. But that's another way that I get through the day. And it's at this point you realize that I'm a relatively boring person in real life. That pretty much sums up my day, and that's how I live. I like what I like, and it helps me get by. And that's helped a lot. Being that kind of person helps a lot when you are down in the depths. Because, well, if you have extravagant interests or needs, then those are much harder to meet when you don't have anything, or don't have very much. But maybe you do have a lot. Maybe it's more of an emotional thing. You have everything that you could ever want, but you're still not happy, or, I don't know. It could be that. In which case, I wouldn't know what to tell you. Maybe find a project to work on. That usually, tends to be the way people get out of their funk. I've worked on a few projects before. Plenty of game development projects that never went anywhere. Still doing that, by the way. Used to be part of a group called the Elder Scrolls Renewal Project, and I worked on Skywind. I was the quality assurance lead for sound quality, for the voice acting specifically. And I did that for a year and a half, and then my life went to shit and I fell out of rhythm. But it was really fun while it lasted, and you get a sense of community. And you don't feel so alone, and you have something to do, you feel important. You're doing something that makes you happy and other people happy from your work, so it's cool. So I'd recommend a project, if you do have the resources especially. Hell, statistically speaking, if the top 1% in America earn like $350K, and 1,000 people watch this video, about 10 of you are pretty well off. I don't think that's exactly sound logic, but there must be at least one of you, right? And maybe your life isn't that great, after all, even with all that money. Well, projects are a way to do that, to get by. You could even make ASMR. I know a lot of people in the community who watch ASMR and who have thought about getting into ASMR. And I would recommend it if you have a lot of drive and don't burn out easily, because it's extremely easy to burn out. Especially if your channel doesn't grow really fast, which it's frankly unlikely to, because 1, the market is saturated, and 2, well, unless you are an especially attractive female, you might struggle a little bit more. And that's just due to the market. Such is life. It's just supply and demand, I suppose. But, yeah, if you want to make ASMR, do that. But anyway, I hope you're okay. And if you're not okay, if things are still shitty, then you're just gonna have to ride it out. That's just life. There's nothing more I can tell you. I'm really close to the camera. I hope that isn't too weird. I don't know what this is going to look like. It might look trash, but hopefully it's okay. And if it is, fucking sweet. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, boy. That was not my longest yeah boy ever, by the way. Anyway, we're getting off topic, so I think it's a good time to say why, and I hope if things are shitty, they get better, and if they're not, I hope they stay that way. So, bye-bye.